What's up guys, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be going over vocal warm-ups for musicians, specifically recording artists, so that you can get the best final recordings that you can. Let's go. So like I kind of insinuated there, the purpose of this video is to help you prepare your voice for final recordings. There are going to be two parts to this video, two steps. Number one is going to be square breathing, number two is going to be sing-along. So let's start with square breathing. The muscles in your lungs, just like any other muscle anywhere in your body, needs to be used thoughtfully and often in order for it to get better and stronger. Doing this exercise every day or every time before you do final vocals is really going to help strengthen the muscles in your lungs, which is going to allow you to control the outflow of your breath better when you sing. This is going to allow you in turn to have better pitching as well as a richer tone of voice when you sing. Okay, so now I've spoken about why you should do it, but let's actually speak about what it is. So square breathing is a technique that's been around forever. I learned it, I remember when I first went to singing lessons when I was like 15, 16, we learned a different version of this, which I'll explain in a second. But square breathing is basically breathing in for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, breathing out for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, and then repeating the square. The reason that's why it's called square breathing, because you're doing everything for the same amount of time. So you'll do 4 seconds, and then maybe you'll do 5 seconds, and then 6 seconds. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, let out for 4, hold for 4, and then you repeat it, or you do 5, or you do 6, whatever the case may be. You want to repeat this process 3 to 4 times at least, so that it's actually doing something. If you just complete one square, it's really not gonna test your lungs enough to really strengthen them at all. So you really want to make sure that you're doing it at least 3-4 times. I would recommend, if you're doing just square breathing alone, doing it at least 6 times. Okay, this is for those of you who want to level up, and this is what I do personally. I don't really have a name for it. It's kind of a knockoff of square breathing. There might be a name for it, out there somewhere, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it multiplication breathing. So how this works is basically you're going to be multiplying each time, and instead of there being 4 steps, there's 3 steps. So you're going to breathe in for 6, hold that breath for 12, and then breathe out for 24. And then do the same with 7, so breathe in for 7, hold for 14, let out for 28. And the same with 8, breathe in for 8, hold for 16, and let out for 32. And if you're really feeling adventurous, you can do 9, 18, and 36. A quick note is that you always want to make sure that when you're starting square breathing or multiplication breathing, that you're starting with no air in your lungs. So you want to let everything out and then start from nothing. But yeah, this multiplication breathing, for me, I just find that it works my lungs a lot more. It really pushes it to the furthest extent that it can go. And by the time I'm done, breathing out for that on that 7, 8, 9, I'm like wheezing for air, but it's really good because then when I take a breath in, I feel like my lungs are way more full and they're sitting more upright, and I feel like I have a lot more breath and control over my breath too. Also, if you can't do multiplication breathing first time, don't worry. Start with the square breathing and then work your way up. Same as if you can't do the 8 or 9 in the multiplication breathing, just start lower and work your way up. Then part 2 is sing-along. So once you've done these square breathing or multiplication breathing exercises, you want to warm up your voice by singing along to another song. So what I recommend doing is either singing along to an artist who has a similar voice to yours, or singing one of your songs, maybe an old song, or even practicing the song you're working on today. The reason you want to choose an artist that's similar to you is because you don't want to practice singing a song from an artist who has a way different tone to you or way different style, and then accidentally mimicking that right after when you go to record your final recordings for your song. So that's why I really recommend that you do it with an artist that's very similar to you, but preferably your own music if you can. You also want to make sure that these are songs that test your vocal range, right? You don't want to be singing a song that's within a couple notes. You really want to sing a song that's going to stretch your range, take it up an octave. If you're doing a song that has falsetto in it, if that's what you're preparing to record final vocals for, make sure that the song you're practicing also has some falsetto in it, preferably within the same couple notes, so that you're practicing those. This way you know that you're really preparing yourself the best that you can for these final vocal recordings. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. Take the square breathing, take the multiplication breathing, put it to use. I'd recommend the multiplication breathing, but if you have to, start on square. As always, there'll be a PDF download for this video. It'll go over square breathing and multiplication breathing, so be sure to grab that, download that, print it out if you want, and I'll see you in another video.